Hi, it's Gajian. It's part 10. And like I said, this is where the climax is because this is where, how do I put this? This is where my life begins. And it began the day I got kicked out of my parents' apartment. And if I wasn't kicked out, I don't know where I would be today because the reason is I also walked out because I was not going to be responsible for this. Her rule was that all my stuff had to go into storage if I was to stay there, and I would have to pay half the rent, half the electricity, and half of the cable, which was the same price as having my own apartment. So, unbeknownst to them, when I was still at my sister's for those 2 months, I was looking for an apartment and everything. What I come to find, they put me in here like I stated before in part 9. Let's just say the first couple years were bad because when you're a child who does not go out, doesn't know what it's like to be out and have freedom, you don't know what to do. You're either scared, confused, or going to go nuts. Not nuts in a bad way, but like, I'm going to keep staying out. I'm going to keep staying out. No. The first year was me trying to sleep because I never could sleep as a kid with a manic mom. She tried setting the place on fire with her cigarettes. She would forget. She melted a teapot on the stove, forgot about it. She almost tried to, you know what I mean? So you had to keep sleep with one eye open, the way my dad taught me, the way they did in Vietnam. Alright? So it was hard to get a good night's sleep without the TV on. It was hard to get a good night's sleep without the headphones in because of all the arguing with my parents over issues and everything. Just to get a good night's sleep took me a year. A whole year. Then I lose my job with the waitressing. I said I'm not going back in the apartment. I had a second breakdown. But it wasn't a breakdown where it's like mental case breakdown. It was like fear of going back into that hell after just getting something, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, before I lost the job, because they didn't need any more waitresses, and plus people stabbed me in the back at that job because they didn't like that I actually was a fast cleanup. Like, I basically did my job and got me in trouble. So we went to Disney. The first time ever I went to Disney, right? It was a birthday present for me and my niece. We're born like, okay, she's born October 27th, I'm November 1st. So she's my birthday present. Literally, and basically, like, it was just supposed to be my sister, her husband, me, and Haley. What does she do? My sister ruins the vacation. She brings her friend Nikki, whose cat died. She felt bad that the cat died. And she brings the baby's godfather and his wife, who the wife just had a little baby. And literally, let's just say it was not a fun plane ride. I was 72 hours still up because I had been waitressing, doing everything. Didn't sleep. My sister gets the times wrong. I figured we can just chuck that. Everybody is at everybody's throat. I'm sleeping on a couch bed that was nasty as hell. We get to the parks and everything. They get my niece sunburned. They don't do anything. Everyone wants to smoke and take a bathroom break, and everybody's like, are you sure you can handle things on your own? They wouldn't let me out of their sight. I left the Magic Kingdom crying to the point where I went by myself at the risk of making my credit card go over. I literally did not have a good time at the Magic Kingdom. The only good thing that happened was me and my niece having so much fun, right? Literally, like going to the clam, it's called the clam pearl dive. We both got pearls each. Mine was the peach, no, hers was the peach one, mine was the cream one. We went back on our second trip and we wanted the blue pearl. So here's Haley holding my hand and going, we're going to get a blue pearl. We're going to get a blue pearl. Right? She's my goddaughter. I raised her. And she's also, doesn't realize she's also part Wiccan. And I'll get to that because I was going to save that for last. But I'm a Wiccan and everything. So we both were holding our hands together and we were going, as soon as the lady came up with the clam, Haley, which one? Haley picks it. We take it over. To our surprise, 2 blue pearls. One is bigger than the other. The lady goes auntie and niece. So our little charms are copies of each other, except, like I said, I have the cream one and the big blue pearl. She has the peach and the little blue pearl. Okay? See what wishing can do? See what I said, it's starting to get a little bit better and everything? But that was all that year and everything. Second year, because in that first year I had just started the job I'm at now. I'm not going to say what job that is. and everything. Because my past jobs, they can't do anything to me anymore. They can't, because they can get in trouble for slandering my name. And this is all the truth that has happened to me. I love my job I'm working at. Don't get me wrong, I do love it. But it's the hours. I'm at the point now in 2012 where, since we're in a recession, and it really is a depression, I have nothing left in my checking account and savings. I literally have nothing left. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to keep this apartment. But some hope is in my heart and on the way, because when I started that job, I met some nice people also. Started to reconnect, found out about something called MySpace. Went onto MySpace and found that there were friends looking for me. That my mother told me were gone. And I'm watching the clock, I want to make sure and everything. Come to find, one of those friends tunes me on to Facebook. And now here's the clincher about Facebook. Because I had been on MySpace so long and everything, I was figuring everything, right? I don't know who told me or how it happened. Oh, I know how it happened. Because of MySpace and everything, I met this very nice guy who turned me on to the world of anime. Again, because I still was dealing with anime, loving it and everything, but it was to the point where I couldn't go to conventions because of what my mother was doing. So I missed out on a lot of conventions and everything. Now you're saying, okay, she met a guy. I had met prior guys to that, because during my time at Suncoast and everything, all that, I had met this one guy who changed my life, but he cheated on me. There were other things that happened that I'm not going to mention and everything, but let's just say my first real boyfriend, I knew through one of my other exes, cheated on me. Proposed to me and cheated. That's how I should put it, right? 2 years later comes another one, which I can't say his name and where he works, but he dumped me for an 81-year-old. But he was also a drunk and tried to hit me. And if his friends weren't there to stop him, I would have been with a black eye. Because some of them I'm not mentioning, because some of them didn't do any wrong. Some just were like one-day dates and everything and stuff like that. Some preferred guys over me, and that was another funny thing about it. There was one, I can't mention all the things he does, but he did put my heart back together, and it'll be 4 years this 29th, February 29th. That's how I know that my heart was put back together, because if it wasn't for him, I would be even worse than I was. Because of all these guys abusing me, belittling me and stuff, because there are guys that I'm not going to mention because it could jeopardize their jobs and everything. And I've come to an agreement with them that it's just basically, I'm just pointing out certain things. People who are my friends know the real stories and everything. It's just right now, for this purpose, unless I'm writing the book, video, I'm not going to jeopardize people's jobs the way people jeopardize mine, which they have tried to. I lost my other waitressing job because of the one that dumped me for an 81-year-old. And it just hurts like hell. I've been one-night stands, hit and runs and everything. And I'm looking at the clock right now, and I want to still talk about this, but it'll be in part 11. Because, remember, these are all just short, just as everything. If you really want the whole story, I'll write the book. Somebody can write it for me, and I'll dictate it all to you. But as of now, you can see I have not had anything good happen in my life. Maybe just a little bit. But if it wasn't for these positive events that were happening, you wouldn't find what happened to me now. Especially when this guy on MySpace. Alright? So this will be part, whatever it is, okay? 11 or 12 coming up and everything, alright? I'll talk to you later. Bye.